Huh.
Okay, so I will first tell about the research on consciousness. So to make it interactive, so how many of you have thought about this question that you are different from the rock? Because rock is made up of atoms and you are also made up of atoms. Slides? Yeah. So when I got this question before my CBSE exam, my friend says, "Are you mad? The exam is starting." So I forgot about this question, and later we came to know this is the biggest question in neuroscience also, that called the hard problem of consciousness, that it is unsolved for last 30 years. Simple question, that how come the lifeless inert atoms can give rise to an experience of being in your brain through neural activity. And 80% or 90% of neuroscientists, they still believe it can be done through the brain, but now, after failing for 20, 30 years, there is a good amount of scientists, physicists and neuroscientists, top scientists, they have started thinking that maybe consciousness is an outside phenomena than brain. So the next slide. Next slide means Usmai, in that only next slide. There are 4 slides. No, not this one. The same presentation. Yeah. Yes. So one solution which came from a top neuroscientist from MIT, he's a professor of UC Irvine in US, he gave a detailed mathematical derivation that consciousness is beyond the space and time, not only human brain. And just like you play video game, you put the headset and you get a virtual reality, like that consciousness is using your brain and space-time to create a virtual reality and having fun. And that is very much similar what Gurudev says, that in consciousness, space-time exists. And once we transcend space-time, the journey begins. You know, it's almost similar sounding, and of course Gurudev has been teaching that from long back. The next slide, please. And the next theory is, we said that lifeless rock. But nowadays, the physicists and the neuroscientists says one solution to that hard problem is that maybe the atoms or the rocks are a little bit conscious. And once they come in the brain, they become more aware together and gives you the feeling. And in that theory, the rock is conscious, the whole universe is alive. And that is what Gurudev has been telling for a long time. And it is not just the science fiction, that is a very well accepted theory nowadays. It's called panpsychism theory. It tried to solve that neuroscientist problem. But still there are majority of neuroscience who doesn't know. It is still a clueless thing. And even when you have an ice cream, whether you are having a vanilla ice cream or strawberry ice cream, that also they don't understand how brain feel that it is two different ice cream. So forget about creating a sense of being from the neural activity, you know. And this theory, if it is true, then whole universe has different degrees of consciousness, depending on how much atoms has come together, how much prana is there, which Gurudev has been talking from long time. Next slide.
This is a rhyme. After every sentence, the Gurudev has been talking for a long time. Yeah.
Okay. The final one is the secret of downloading. You know, the Ayurveda said, in Ayurveda came as like many rishis went into meditation and 2 or 3 of them did not. They wrote. So, and then intuition also, in any scientific discovery that has happened, did not happen through logical progression. Suddenly a scientist got this idea, and then they do a lot of experiment, mathematics, and they find the truth. But the first idea, from where it comes, nobody knows. Perhaps Gurudev knows. The scientists, we don't know. And the question scientists are asking, that is there a cosmic library of information accessible to those who can tune to it? It's all there. And then 2023, a Nobel Prize happened in quantum mechanics, which goes little bit in that direction, but not yet proved. The next slide. Yes. It's called quantum entanglement. You know, you can download from mobile you can download a movie which is already there. Somebody has put it in the space, in the internet. But can you download something which nobody knows yet? And only universe knows. And that can be done when you are connected to the universe. Not like the mobile phone signal we get through the speed of light or electromagnetic signal. So this discovery is like, suppose two person is further apart along the galaxies. It takes 1 million years for light to travel, but they can be entangled in quantum mechanics, and one changes color from white to black, the other has to be opposite. So if the left guy is turned to black, and that is what happens in quantum mechanics, you order a dosa, and then you open the packet, you see it's idli. You can only say that 50% probability is there, you can get dosa. That is what happens. So once you see one person white, then other has to be black, and if that changes to black, that other has to be white. So they are somehow entangled, and information is going instantaneously. So perhaps that's a clue that whole universe is one connected being. And it is not only this study, this meditation gives you that experience, but Dr. Banani will tell that it can also change your DNA. Not only this experience or understanding about the universe, you can have a healthy life.
Next slide, please. Next presentation.
And both of them have gone around the world. They have taught, they have been in big demand in Europe, in US, everywhere they have been. Now they have come to India, and you never know how long they will be in India. Immediately there will be a call somewhere. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, can you put the slide? While the slide is coming up, all of us know that we are made up of DNA, right? Yes. And most of our DNA, all of us have 99.99% similar DNA. This is not my slide, another one. That says the impact of meditation. That's a different one. Okay, while they are getting the slides ready, I will ask you a question. Do you know how much percentage similarity you have of DNA between you and a chimpanzee? We are very alike, 99.9%, Gurudev. And you can guess for other animals also, but between a twin, 100% similarity of gene. Then how are we different? And you have heard that Sudarshan Kriya meditation impacts the DNA level, yes? But you know that DNA cannot be changed, then how can we be different? And how can we pass on information? This is what I want to share with you. It's the research on epigenetics. Please put the slide. Not this one, the other one. Okay. Without slide also we can go on. Epigenetics is beyond gene. You know, two twins living a different lifestyle, one is doing everyday sadhana, everyday eating healthy in a good environment, can have a totally different genetic marker than the other DNA. You know, that's why we tell that, next slide. You can continue to roll. Just go ahead. Continue to roll as I say. The DNA is the blueprint and this is our ancestors. Continue to roll on. Just roll. Yes, maybe I will make it very fast.
One of you can go.
Yes, Shubhina, can you help?
Oh, it's there, out there in the back. Okay. Go ahead. Continue rolling.
The most interesting part here is we have found through the research, not only art of living research across the world, people have done research on DNA, and they have found people who meditate, they get change on these epigenetic markers on their DNA. And the beauty is it passes on from generation to generation. And Sudarshan Kriya and meditators have very powerful epigenetic markers. These are proven by our Art of Living research also. Dr. Fari, his research in Norway, he has shown that hundreds of gene expression changes. Either good genes get turned on, and the genes that need to be turned off, that get turned off when you are doing meditation regularly. Okay, this is the beauty. There is another, just a little bit. Okay.
And Dr. Fari has found that there are 300 genes that get suppressed, which causes many diseases in the system.
Yes, like cancer, which suppresses immunity. So
in the University of Oslo, they did this study. It's beautiful.
Yes.
But very short. Let's make it very short.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Are we back on this? And there is another beautiful thing in our body that is called stem cells. Like the DNA is the code of life, is the software, the hardware is the stem cell. If any organ fails to work, these stem cells can become that organ. And it can make cancer heal faster, it can generate in the embryos. And when people have done research on this, and they have found that the growth of stem cell counts increases when people meditate. This needs a big clap. And so much increase of telomere length has been found for meditators. But people who do Sudarshan Kriya, their telomere length increase is the most significant among many research. So you should never miss your Kriya daily. Next, and you can continue, just roll down. And I don't have much to add because we are a little tight on time. Continue.
DNA damage.
Yes, one thing. I'll talk about DNA damage. What happens when you are doing Sudarshan Kriya and meditation, your DNA damage stops. It makes an auto-repair mechanism. This is also proven by research across the world. You know, many significant universities like Harvard, Wisconsin, UCLA, along with our Art of Living research team, all of them independently done this research, and they show the same thing. Next, continue. And stem cells become more potent to be absorbed by the body's immunity when you are a meditator. Next. And this is the final one. How many of you want to be ageless? Don't miss your meditation. Because when you are practicing Sudarshan Kriya and meditation, few things happen. One is, your aging is not gradual, it is stepwise. Scientists have found 44 and 60 are very important age where people suddenly age. But if you are a meditator, this doesn't happen to you. You stay much more young because your cells are much more young. Continue. Please roll. Yes. These are two markers. And it also is proven through the epigenetic research also. Continue. Please go ahead. Yes. And meditation makes this change. And another thing is, if you do things that your brain doesn't like expanding your comfort zone, sometimes Seva also does that, your something called ACC in the brain gets strengthened. And you stay much more younger. And you have an ability to adapt. Agility increases. Yes. Much more will come later. But let's continue. Yes. So definitely Sudarshan Kriya's research you can find in our artoflivingresearch.org. A lot of research has been done across the world. And continue. And finally, these are the few things you should never miss. Do Sudarshan Kriya practice daily. And live in a lifestyle which is not too much resourceful also. That turns off your anti-aging gene if you have so much abundance in life. That's why little bit of penance, little bit of tapasya is good for your body to keep you fresh, alive, and anti-aging. Continue. That's all, Guru.
While you start that other slide, I'll just speak. We've all heard that meditation changes our brain. It also changes the structure and the function of our brain. So we can go to slide 12 or 13. So one of the things we widely know that, okay, hippocampus is our memory center. That changes, when we meditate. But new research has found out that people who meditate, they generate almost 700 new brain cells every day in the hippocampus, which is more than 5 times more than non-meditators. Your brain actually stops growing after a while. After the age of 25, you don't grow, the brain doesn't grow new cells. So when you meditate, your brain keeps itself young compared to people who don't meditate. Then there is something called as TPJ in our brain, which is our empathy center. When we meditate, that center becomes very strong. We can go forward. Actually, you can keep rolling like you did for Banani. There's another part of our brain which is called the assessment center, the lateral prefrontal cortex, which is the judge in our brain, which makes us feel very rational, doesn't make us feel, very emotional all the time or feeling attacked all the time. That is connected to our amygdala. Amygdala is our fear center of the brain. And that is again connected to something called as medial prefrontal cortex, which is the me center of your brain, where your identity lies. So these three are connected. What they found that in non-meditators, the amygdala is the most powerful. The drama queen of the brain, the fear center of the brain is most powerful. And that controls how you think about yourself and what you think about the situation. But when you meditate, this reversal of the connection happens. So your amygdala becomes weak, your assessment center, the lateral prefrontal cortex, becomes strong, and your me center goes and connects to it. So anything that happens in your life, you don't see it as either being attacked or being self-guilt. You don't take it either as a guilt or a blame. You take it with rationality and judgment, and amygdala becomes weak. So they have found that meditation can do that. That makes you lower reactivity to stress, more calm, more composed. So this is some of the things we wanted to share, Gurudev. I think we can pause the slides.
तो समझ रहे ना, इंद्रिय जन्य ज्ञान से बुद्धिजन्य ज्ञान उत्तम है। बुद्धिजन्य ज्ञान से बुद्धि के अतीत का ज्ञान और भी अच्छा है। तो इसलिए गीता में कृष्ण ने एक जगह कहा ना, यो बुद्धि परतत्व सा, बुद्धि से परे जाने से वो मिलता है, वो पराचेतना है, शुद्ध चेतना है। बुद्धि के परे जाना चाहिए, मगर कैसे करना? बुद्धि योग से फिर बुद्धि के परे जाना चाहिए। इसका माने बुद्धिहीन नहीं रहना है, बुद्धि की पराकाष्ठा जाके उधर से छलांग लगाना है। समझ में आ रही है बात? तर्क आवश्यक है, मगर तर्क के अतीत भी कुछ है। जैसे तर्क से सब कुछ समझ है, तर्क में को कुतर्क में भी बदल सकता है। जैसे कोई कहे दरवाजा आधा खुला है, तो क्या है? तर्क क्या है? आधा बंद है। तो पूरा खुला है तो पूरा बंद होना चाहिए। होता है क्या ऐसे? नहीं, तर्क इसीलिए अंधी है, तर्क अंधी है। तो तर्क से परे जाएंगे, उसी को कहते हैं वितर्क। वितर्क से ही आत्मज्ञान प्राप्त होता है।